Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Movie Fam's Horror Review, and once again, I am joined by Natalie Myers. Now, what's going on?
Not much.
All right, Bill Wallace has been on the show, huh?
Yep.
See, not these people. These people actually, we had the last episode that we recorded before the computer crashed. So, even though it's been a long time since we filmed the show, the first episode back was me and you doing that show. So, you know. But yeah, glad to have you back here. So,
time, no scene.
Yeah, there we go. So, before we get started, I want to go ahead and throw this out there that, yes, kind of taking a small plunge, if you will. Maya is going to be moving into the lair. Yes. Don't fear, I'm not going to have anything gay up here. We're not rearranging anything up here. However, yes, no, she is moving in, which is kind of a big step because, I mean, she's going to be bringing her DVDs and integrating them into my collection.
Daniel's not... You're not very happy about that?
I'm half and half. I don't know. It's going to be different. It's going to be different. I'll say that. It'll be different. However, boom, it's what it is. However, we are going to start doing a little segment on here. I'm not sure what we're going to call it yet. I was thinking like Maya's Corner, but, kind of just have her own little segment. Not necessarily a whole show, but yeah, she's kind of wanting to get everybody else's opinion on this, like what she should do, should she do reviews, because, what should she talk about? So I told her, I said, you know what, because she ain't here yet, she'll actually be here next week. I told her that I would throw it out to the fandom public, because she's already got her own channel out there right now, which I'll leave a link to that right down below. But, I guess she don't keep her channel, but she's also going to, like I said, do a little thing on my channel. So, yeah, if you... Guys, be supportive out there. Check out her channel, but also give me some feedback on what you think, she should do, like on her own little...
Give us some, tips.
Yeah, just, a little advice, a little request, review, whatever. Like, whatever you guys think she should be, what direction she should take her little segment to, throw it out there. So we got a couple movies to review tonight. We got, and I do not have a physical copy of this one, the first movie is A Chinese Torture Chamber Story 2. And then, of course, we're going to be reviewing Fire in the Sky. So, before we get to those, however, we got a regular show to do here. So, let's get right into it. Now, last week I had a top 3 that a friend of the show suggested, Ghostface Kid 101. And he asked the question, what was your top 3 favorite humorous moments in a horror movie? However, no one else seemed to want to answer this question because he's the only person that has sent me his top 3. So, I threw it out there, buddy, but, no one else really jumped on this at all. But here's his response. He had his top 3 humorous moments in a horror movie. At number 3, he said The Collection. And there's a scene where, they're kind of making Josh Stewart's character enter this fun house, if you will, this house of pain, whatever you want to call it, the collector's lair. And, there's a scene where they're making him go ahead. He's like, well, can I at least have a gun? And they just throw him this small flashlight, And he's like, to him, that was just a really humorous part right there. At number 2, Scream. And the scene where Neve Campbell, who has just kind of outsmarted the two killers, she's hiding in the house and she's calling them up. Now she's taunting them. And anyways, there's a scene where when she's talking to Stu, played by Matthew Lillard, he's like, did you really call the police? And she's like, you bet I did. His response was, man, my mom and dad are going to be so mad at me. And he's kind of whining with it. I like that. I do like that scene.
Scream is a little creepy.
You think Scream's creepy?
Yeah, because he has the same face.
So you're saying the mask is creepy, the outfit thing. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
And how he's like here one second, and he's like, boom, he's here.
He's quick. He don't mess around. And Ghostface Kids 101, number 1 most humorous moment in a horror movie is also from Scream. And it's actually from the same scene. Early on, whenever Billy's on the phone, and he's just like, you bitch, and he takes the phone and he throws it at Stu's back. And then Stu replies, you hit me the phone, dick. Or he just says, I can't remember exactly the wording. But yeah, I guess hit the phone, he's dick, and it's funny stuff. So yes, Ghostface Kid, thank you very much for those. And yeah. So, I was thinking, what should my top 3 be tonight? Like I said, I always try to have it tie in with the 2 movies in some weird way. Couldn't really think of anything, hardly, off the top of my head. However, with me reviewing A Chinese Torture Chamber Story 2, I decided now last time we did a top 3, before this last one, I guess 2 times ago, we did what was your favorite horror part 2s. So this time around, I'm asking the question, slightly different, but okay, what are your top 3 sequels? Now this could be any of them, 2 through whatever. What is your favorite sequels that you think are better than the original, part 1? Doesn't even have to be a horror movie, because I honestly couldn't think of too many horror sequels that I like better than the original. At all. Like, at fucking all. Like, to me, usually, 9 times out of 10, part 1 is better than the numerous sequels that come out. However, if you can come up with horror, fine, but I'm not going to regulate you to horror. So, for me, personally, my top 3, and there's some that, like, I don't know, the last time we did the 2, 13th Wolfman busted out Bride of Frankenstein, which it is better than the original Frankenstein. I think a lot of the Dracula sequels are better. I think Daughter of Dracula is better than Dracula. Yeah, there were a lot back there. But to me, when I think of, like, sequels that are better than the original, these 3 movies always seem to come up for me. So that's why I strayed away from horror. So for me, the top 3 sequels that are better than the original. At number 3, I'm saying The Godfather Part 2. Yeah, that is just, to me, like one of the ultimate sequels right there. Just effing brilliant. At number 2, I said Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Just badass on every freaking level right there. Love it. And to me, my number 1 sequel that is better than the original, The Dark Knight. Sequel to Batman Begins. And it's just effing epic. That's all there is to it. It's effing epic. Just so. What about you, man? You got any sequels you can think off the top of your head that you think are better than the original?
Nope.
No? Not at all? So I want to know what you guys think. What are your top 3 sequels that are better than the original? Now, as you know, there are multiple ways to hit me up. My fan friends are on Facebook. You can hit me up over there. You can leave the comment right down below. Of course, movefam7@gmail.com. Private messages, they all work. And, of course... Video response. So...
Just do a video response, because don't listen to him, because, he's an old dude.
I am an old guy. That's true. I am an old guy. So what do you say we get some news, shall we? Talk about another old guy, actually. News are kind of hitting about Arnold Schwarzenegger. We all know him from his awesome action movies from the 80s and 90s.
Not all knows.
You don't know who Schwarzenegger is? Oh, come on. Terminator? The Running Man. Commando. Oh my God. Last Action Hero.
Remember, live in a cornfield. No reception.
Okay, no reception. Okay, I got you. Alright, well anyways, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I guess they're in talks now. They're going to be doing a Toxic Avenger movie, a remake. I guess he's in talk to play the villain, which I'll be honest, I haven't really seen any Trauma movies at all. I had one, I can't remember, it's something like Igor's, something. It is like a Manson type family in a van, they're picking up drifters. I don't remember much of it. I remember I bought it for I think I bought it for like $3. That's kind of crazy. I bought the VHS for $3. This is back when like VHSs were kind of starting to go out and video stores going out of business, and I bought it there because it looked pretty crazy. And it was pretty good, but I don't remember hardly anything of it. Anyway, but yeah, this Schwarzenegger, I don't know who the villain was in Toxic Avenger in the original, but I guess they're wanting to get Schwarzenegger as that. And couldn't really see him saying no. Let's face it. What else is he gonna do? The Last Stand. So yes. Speaking of questionable, I guess you can call it news. I guess Robert Rodriguez is wanting to do a TV series spinoff. I don't know what it'd actually be from his awesome vampire movie from Dusk Till Dawn. Which the guy who wrote this article was going on this big kick about how they also made 2 sequels to it and they sucked. Which I've only seen the first one, or the first sequel, part 2. I liked it. I thought it was really good. Was it as good as the original or the first one? No, not even close. But it's still enjoyable. If you have to see part 3, Hangman's Daughter, I have it over there. It's back there right now, actually, but I haven't seen it yet.
Back there with all the thousands and thousands and thousands.
I would say that. There's probably a couple hundred back there. That's all. 700. So, but yeah, I guess Robert Rodriguez is really wanting to push forward on this. So will we see it from Dusk Till Dawn TV series? I don't know, but hopefully. I kind of want to see it. I'm curious. Thinking of sequels. We ain't even talking about sequels yet. We talked about remakes and TV series. But anyways, we'll pretend like we were talking about sequels. We were talking about sequels earlier. I think I've already talked about the VHS 2. They were going to move forward on that one. I think it's already done. I think actually you have the trailer up already. Anyways, they're wanting to do the ABCs of Death 2 as well. Apparently the first one was a hit. I have not yet seen it. So they're wanting to move ahead and do part 2 of that as well. And so, yeah, kind of curious about that. Real curious about the first one anyways. So, yeah. Now, I've been talking about this for a while now. Zombieland, they had their own TV series. I guess they already shot the pilot, and they threw it up there for on Amazon.com. You can stream it there. Apparently, it's already been canceled. Already been canceled. Not even out that long. Been canceled already. Boom. Done.
What happened?
Dude, the idea looked horrible. However, I watched the pilot trailer, and it didn't look too bad, actually. Like, I know I was, like, so dead against this, but it actually didn't... I mean, it seemed cheap, but, it seemed kind of like it wasn't going to be as good as the movie. However, it didn't look bad. I'm just kind of shocked it's already canceled, so yeah.
So, like, what is it about, like, Zombieland?
It's literally like, the movie Zombieland, right?
Yeah.
It's that, the TV series. But it doesn't have any of the characters back, or all the actors aren't back. So none of the actors are back, but their characters are played by other people. So, like, Little Rock, Wichita, Tallahassee, and Columbus, they're in the movie, but it's not the same actors playing them.
Then that won't make it.
I know, and it didn't. It got canceled. I agree. I was actually against it whenever I first heard, but I saw the trailer, and the trailer didn't look too bad. It didn't look like it was like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious, but it didn't look bad either. But yeah, canceled.
Yeah, you cannot make
you can't duplicate. Yeah, without
the characters.
Without Woody Harrelson, really. I mean, I'm gonna just come out and say Woody Harrelson.
He makes the whole movie.
He does. He really does. So, but yeah, canceled. So, and finally, speaking of sequels, okay, now. We all know about The Wicker Man. I did a review. I'm not saying that, the only reason you know about the movie because I did a review for it. I'm just saying, I reviewed it before the original, not that Nick Cage abortion. And they did a sequel this past year called The Wicker Tree. But apparently the guy who wrote the book, the novel, which I think the novel is called Rituals, I guess all these years later, he's actually going to write a sequel to that book. And it's called The Wicca Woman. So will they try to make another movie based on this? I don't know. But yeah, kind of weird, because it's kind of weird that, these authors are kind of coming out like 30 years plus later to write, the sequels to this stuff. Because Stephen King is actually writing the sequel to The Shining. But it's called Dr. Sleep.
Dr. Sleep? Dr.
Sleep. I'm not making this up. It's literally called Dr. Sleep. Or at least that's what it's called right now. Maybe he'll come back and be like, yeah, Shining too. But,
hopefully.
Yeah. So that's that. So that's all we got for news. Now, I always try to bring you guys upcoming horror movies. Well, one just came under the radar, and they just announced it this week, or it had just been announced this week, but I just got it on my list. It came on my radar. It's actually out right now. I'm guessing limited release, because it looks like a piece of shit. A movie called Black Rock, where these 3 women go on this island. It's a getaway thing. Anyway, they meet these dudes, and then, of course, things turn ugly, and then they have to fight for their survival. This looks like feminist propaganda, and then of course it's directed by a woman who I think she's also starring in it. It looks god awful. It looks like something that'd be on Lifetime, and even Lifetime wouldn't accept it and spit it out, and now we're getting it here. I don't know. Black Rock just does not appeal to me whatsoever. I don't know. It looks retarded. Like I said, it looks like a bad Lifetime movie. It really does. I'm not just saying it because I'm like, I just think it looks horrible. However, I mean, it has Kate Bosworth, which I'm not saying I'm a big Kate Bosworth fan, because what has she really done that's even worth anything? Wonderland, maybe. I didn't care for Blue Crush. Anyways, she's in it, and then a bunch of other nobodies that I just don't know. So, yeah. Black Rock, I'm saying pass, but, maybe it's great. If it is, you guys can tell me about it, but, Now, I went to the movies today, actually. Saw a pretty kick-ass double feature. Up at the IU Cinema, they were showing The Shining on the big screen, which that's all. I was literally like the main reason I went. I was like, oh my god, The Shining on the big screen. And I recommend that. If you guys can see your horror classics on a big screen, I highly recommend that. There are so many details that I guess I just wasn't paying attention to whenever I've seen the movie over 100 times. That's not an exaggeration. Like, I know I've seen this movie over 100 times. I would bet anything on that. However, you see it on the big screen, there's little things you just kind of don't catch, I guess. I don't know. Like, I'm just like, oh my god, I didn't realize that. But the companion piece of this was the documentary that came out this year, The Room 237. And let me just tell you right now, like, I recommend Room 237, but you can tell it's a crock of shit. Like, it's like 5 or 6 different people just talking about the alternate meanings to The Shining and all the hidden imagery and the symbolism. And it's crap. Like, these people literally are just like psychotic. Like, people are like dedicated their lives to unlocking the mysteries of The Shining, and they're really like the stuff they come up with is so ridiculous. You're just like, really? However, it was entertaining to watch. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I was laughing through it because they
I have a question.
Yes.
Does the same people that play on The Shining play on the other
Room 237?
Yeah.
No, not in fact, not a single person at all. In fact, there's a big disclaimer. It says, like, this documentary has not been endorsed by Stanley Kubrick, the cast, the filmmakers, anybody associated with it, the studio. I mean, it goes through like a laundry list of like who.
So the same about the Zombieland. Do not have the characters in it.
Yeah. Well, it's not like a sequel. It's just kind of like about it, like a documentary, like a. I would never say making of, but it's like a documentary about The Shining. But yeah, it's kind of it's a little ridiculous. Definitely recommend it, though. I recommend it, but don't put too much thought into it. Like, literally, take it for what it is, entertainment. So, yeah, that's that. So, we'll move on to some viewer comments. Why Human asked, who keeps upgrading the mask? And it's me. I'm upgrading the mask. Yeah, I just plan on, like I said, sometime last year, I was like, when my 1 year comes up, and I've been on the show for 1 year, I'm going to change the mask up. And I plan on just changing it up again next year, when I guess my 2 years is up. Oh, I already got the blueprints.
What I'm going to do.
You're going to do that too? You're going to switch up the mask too? All right.
Don't mind 1 year if I find out when it's going to be.
You know what? I will research it for you. I'll talk to the producers or whoever's in charge of that shit, and we'll figure that out. Don't worry about that. So, but yeah, changing that up. So, yeah, so that's that. Yeah, it's me, just slapping crap together, ripping off different things, and then putting it all in one mask. So, Ghostface Kid hit me up with 3 questions. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. And they're all would you rather questions, which I love. Would you rather questions? Yes, I love would you rather questions. First one is: would you rather be collected by the collector or play a game with Jigsaw? And that's a tough question. Neither, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It'd be safer to get out of it altogether. But if I had to pick one, I'm gonna say, and this is gonna be kind of weird because I'm pretty sure I'll go through some pain, but I think I'd rather play a game with Jigsaw, and here's my reason.
Are you crazy or something?
Well, have you seen The Collection?
No.
So I haven't seen The Collector, but I've seen The Collection. Like, those dudes are just doomed to rot in whatever place they're at. And it was just by luck that Josh Stewart and these other guys stumbled across them. And, I mean, they didn't really save anybody else, but it just seemed like it was just blind luck that he got away the first time, and that if they would have actually stumbled across anybody else they could save, you can get them out. Seems like the collector is collecting people, and he does not intend to get rid of anybody. Whereas Jigsaw, he gives you a choice or a chance to get out. It is going to be a painful way out. You'll have to hack off a limb, or
chop off a leg or arm.
Yeah, rip out your eyeball. Kill somebody, which I'd hope for that. That sounds horrible, but I'd much rather have to like knife somebody and get out of it. Like the girl who like had the I can't remember her name in the movie. It was Shawnee Smith. I can't remember her character name. Anyways, when she had the Amanda, that's her name. Amanda, when she had the reverse bear trap on her head and her way out was like I had to stab somebody and pull the key out. I would love that. I will definitely do that. Like I don't care in that situation. I'm just like, it's you or me, buddy.
I probably want that instead of walking away with all my body parts.
Yeah. I'd much rather do that than have my head ripped off completely. So, yeah, I'll definitely play a game of Jigsaw. I feel like I have a better chance.
Headless Horseman.
Do what?
Headless Horseman.
You'll turn into the Headless Horseman and get your head. See, there you go. Next question was: would you rather have dinner with Hannibal Lecter or go hunting with Predator? Now, when I first read that question, I was like, "Am I the hunted / dinner?" But it literally, I reread it or I re-listened to this thing, and it said, "Would you rather have dinner with Hannibal or go hunting with Predator?" And I'm just like, straight up hunt with Predator because I'm not against eating human flesh. I don't want it. I don't want to. I wouldn't order if it's on the menu. But I'm figuring if I'm at like Hannibal's house and dude's like, you know, would you like to have, you know, I know it's human meat. Come on, we all know if you're having like, you know, meat sandwiches over at Hannibal's house, he's serving you, you know, human meat. And I would eat it. I'd be like, you know what? I bet if it's seasoned right, it probably don't taste that bad. However, I think Hunting the Predator would be cooler because I feel like he'd have the gadgets. I make it to fly around the spaceship to get to our destination. And then if I like do also the hunt, he'll give me that little symbol thing. He gets the chick in the Alien vs. Predator, and it'll burn, but I'd be cool with that. I guess I don't want to burn for hunting aliens, but cause I don't want to hunt aliens. That would suck balls. Just want to hunt people. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll get like a little blood on my cheek there, and I'll be like, I'm a made man. So yeah, I'd rather hunt the Predator. That's my thing there. And finally,
I probably don't want to do neither because I don't know any of them.
You don't know Hannibal Lecter?
No.
Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Rising, Red Dragon. Oh man.
Cornfield, remember?
Cornfield. Predator. You ever seen Predator though?
No.
It's like the most badass movie ever. I'm gonna watch Predator tomorrow actually with the commentary on. So you can hear the director like talk about the movie while you're watching it. I'm a movie geek.
Big words.
Big words. All right, will do. And then this final would you rather was, would I rather be killed by Chrome Skull, which is from the Lay to Rest series, or the Predator? I've only seen Lay to Rest 1, and dude, he fucked some people up in that movie. Like, it was brutal. With the Predator, like, he will eventually skin your bones and or skin your meat off your bones. But you're already dead. Exactly. So I feel like if he kills you, it's just going to be a quick slash across the face or across the neck, or he's just going to like laser you from like 50 yards away. And in that case, either way, it's going to be quick and painless.
Which one is that?
That's the Predator.
I want to be killed by the Predator.
Yeah, Predator. I think. I just remember Chrome Skull with the knife. You like, end up like. I can't. I've seen it's really good, but yeah, I just remember like it was just really messy looking, and I'm like, no effing way.
Be like a stabbing eye off an arm, painful.
Yeah, he'll f me up. So yeah, definitely Predator.
And the Predator will be like stabbing your eye, you're over with. Then you'll be on your lunch menu the next day.
Yeah. Now he don't eat you. He collects your skulls, take back to his home planet. These his trophies.
That's just a little weird.
But you're dead, so you don't care. I mean, at that point, I've already been like lasered through the face.
I would rather be buried.
Or I guess he wouldn't laser through the face because he'll damage the bone structure. He'll laser me through like the throat or the heart. Either way, I'll be dead, and then he'd take my skull back. Now, if I'm dead, I don't care. You can take my skull. You earned it. You hunted me, so.
I just want my.
I'm a fair loser. I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm not a poor sport. I'm like, hey, you got me, buddy. Take it. So.
Be like, cut off your head. Here you go. Anyway.
Now this so thank you. Ghostface Kid. Hope I answered your questions thoroughly.
And I'll be looking for some next week. Got some questions.
So, the next guy who wrote me up, I'm going to butcher this name, dude. I'm so sorry. It's D. Shulump for Utes. This one right here. My hand on the
Just call it DSF.
D. Schulumfarter. I'm very sorry, dude. I'm horrible with names. That has
you know who you are.
Yeah, you know who you are. It got a lot of syllables, man. I'm an ignorant American. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I'm trying. Anyways, I recently reviewed a movie called 150508 for another YouTuber out there. Anyways, this guy hit me up and said I should check out The Big Finish, and apparently it's another found footage. And he claims like literally it kind of gets slow going, but he said the payoff is excellent. So I guess it's here on YouTube, so I'll definitely get around to that. So yeah, The Big Finish, I'll check it out. So yeah, naturally, you guys want to ask me questions, want to ask Maya questions, want to ask Natalie Myers questions.
Please give me some questions.
Corn Children, any of the viewers, your people on here, Robert Cheney, my brother Lynch, you want to ask any of us anything. It can be anything. It don't have to be anything legit. It don't have to be horror related. Just I'm digging the would you rathers. I'm digging scenario questions. Whatever you guys want to ask, hey, we will answer.
Truth or dare questions.
We'll do truth or dare. Dare me to jump out this window? I'll jump out the window. I'll do it.
Yeah, Malcolm Myers just.
So, yeah, you know how to hit me up. Of course, moviefam7@gmail.com.
No.
You can leave personal messages.
You can turn it off now and do reviews.
Comment right down below. Of course, you got me all thrown off there. Phantom Friends over on Facebook can hit me up. And, of course,
video responses.
So, boom, there you go. All right, so let's get to some reviews, shall we? Still, if you need to get into the review. All right, up next, Laura. Up first, we got a Chinese torture chamber story 2, going back to 1998.
Long time ago.
Oh, it's a while back, yo.
I'm still in the grave.
Yeah, there it is. Okay, this movie, it's about these, basically these two. I'm trying to jump in here. Okay, it's a woman who's being tortured, and for the murder of this general, and of course, as it's happening, you're kind of reflecting back on her life. You're seeing like what caused this, why she's in the situation. It's telling the story there. Okay, right off the bat, let's go ahead and say like I have never seen any. Now this is Hong Kong. I know pink films are typically Japanese, and then Category 3 or Cat 3 are typically Hong Kong. I guess this would be Cat 3. But I haven't seen either of these. Now I'm aware of them, but I've never seen them. I just don't have the access to it. Just haven't come across them. Okay, this movie came about. I think I was trying to break into something new, because as you guys know, if you guys have been looking at my list of movies I've reviewed, I kind of jump all over the place. I may do an old black and white silent film one week. I may do something just completely underground. I may do some kind of mainstream. I've done a lot of sci-fi. You know, I jump around a lot. I take different reviews. So I was just honestly trying to like do that again. Went in a random direction. Came across this one. Now I didn't see part 1 because I hear part 2 is just a lot darker than part 1. Like two's pretty one's pretty crazy, but it has like this fantasy comedy going through it. Whereas this one just kind of gets dark and really messed up. Okay, it is subtitled, so if anybody out there who's like against subtitles, I do not recommend this. Okay, this movie, it did kind of shock me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't want to come off sounding like, oh, I'm a prude, and you know, I thought the Hammer movies were crazy in the '60s, but this thing, no, I'm not coming off like that. You know, I've seen August Underground, I've seen stuff like that. I just wasn't expecting it on this one. Like, I was just kind of like, this is just going to be typical Asian horror, and it wasn't. Like, it really was not at all. Like I said, it concerns this woman who's going to be tortured. I'm not going to go through the tortures. We got a young child in the room with us, so I'm not going to go through the reason or why, you know. But she's being tortured.
Don't want to find out that part.
Yeah. And so, but as she's being tortured, she, you know, and I'm not going to lie, there is a lot of...
blood?
Yeah, there's a lot of blood, too. A lot of assault... I spell in your grave assault. If you guys get what I'm saying out there, that kind of violence in this movie. I hope you're
getting what he says. I'm totally.
You're completely lost. That's the good thing. I need you to be confused for this review. I probably shouldn't have had you on the show for this review actually at all, but it's okay. I'm glad you stopped by either way. So anyway, it has a lot of like that kind of stuff, that kind of torture and violence geared in that direction. So now we're all on the same page, except for you. We can move on. So as she's being tortured, and they're cutting off 1,000 pieces of flesh off her body.
Ew.
Yes, but they want her to be alive the whole time. That's the whole ritual.
Ew.
And then of course, you know. Anyway, so as they're
not even possible.
Well, they tie her up and they put like a net around her, and then through the net they're pulling out pieces of flesh and they're razoring it off.
But if you cut one piece of flesh, you're gonna finally bleed to death. So how's she still alive?
They don't want to hit like any major arteries. That's the thing. If you hit like a major artery, then you're going to bleed out big time. I guess a little piece here. Exactly. They just know what they're doing. They've been doing it for... It messed up, right? Yeah.
Yes.
The movie's like this. The whole movie is like this. So she starts flashing back. She's remembering. And what it is, it's her brother, and her fiancé. They've fallen on hard times, and they decide they're going to rob this guy who's coming by. The dude's like a kung fu master and just kicks. He dominates these two dudes.
They bought kung fu in the store.
Yes, that's exactly what went down. So as he fights them off, though, they're begging for their life, and they're like, "Look, you know, sorry." So they all become friends. Like you find out this guy is going to the city. He's going to be, and this is the general. You find out this is the guy that she kills. You know, while she's being tortured. That he's going to the city, and he's going to be. He's trying to become like I guess he's going to become a general inside the thing. He's going to wipe out corruption, all that stuff. So they all start bonding. You find out that there's another girl in this group with them. It's actually the girl's, I guess, sister-in-law. And so they're like a little tight-knit, group there. And they were all farmers that have fallen on hard times, so they had to resort to this. And he kind of like forgives them. He's just like, it's okay, you know, this is what I'm doing. You guys need to fly right, basically. And so there's this whole, you know, that you know, right there. So early on, you find that the main girl, she has kind of fallen in love with him, and of course, you know, but she's engaged to this other guy. Okay. What happens is once the guy gets to the area, he comes back. Like the general comes back for that one girl, and of course she kind of pushes him away. She's like, you know, I am engaged, whatever. So he goes away. Well, later on, when these four go to the big city, you know, because they promised, they promised, like, you know, if you get big, you know, don't forget about us. And he's like, I will not forget about you. So they kind of track him down a few months later. And of course, now he is like the leader of like his own little army. He's high in the government. So he gets the two dudes jobs, right? And of course, at this point, you know, the fiance or the main girl has not yet married her boyfriend, her fiance, because I guess like he wants to be more financially stable, kind of thing, or she wants him to be more financially stable. And of course, you know, they're not going to consummate until, you know, boom, they are actually, you know, married. So at this point, this movie has just been straight up, I mean, there's some softcore to it, but for the most part, it's been just a regular movie. Like, there's nothing crazy about it. It's not until they get to the city and the guy shows them what he's doing. He brings the two guys down. He's like, you're working for me now. You need to see what we're doing. And I got these two spies. I'm guessing it's a husband and wife, and they're torturing him. Dude, it is some messed up stuff to do. Like, they put the guy down, and they pour his hot wax in his ear. Oh, yeah, messed up. I cringed. I was like, oh, come on. Right in his ear. And then they take a hook in his mouth, pull his tongue out. Pretty messed up stuff. Yeah, this is what I was watching. The woman got pretty brutal, too.
Why do they make movies like that? You know, kids have to go to sleep at night.
Well, it's not meant for kids. That's the thing. Like, I would not recommend this to any kids at all.
Good.
Unless if you're a dude and you're like between the ages like 13 and up. I mean, that sounds messed up. I'm not gonna lie. I would definitely been watching this stuff when I was younger. Anyways, and of course the woman, you know, she gets it pretty bad too. She gets a phallic symbol that is boiling hot. Like, it gets this like boiling pot, and it has this phallic symbol on top of it, and it gets cranked into her, and it literally just, you know, it's brutal. That's the most disturbing. Like, I was just like, oh god, and then they kind of show like a clip of it. I mean, they don't really show any, you know, insertion, but it shows, you know, and it's pretty messed up. Like, oh my god, this is so ruthless.
I got a question.
Yeah.
How is it possible to pull a tongue out?
Okay, you got the guy down,
Yeah.
wax in his ear. They just open his mouth up and it's like that, and they take the hook and they put it right in his tongue. Like, they hook it in the tongue and then they just rip it out. It had to be pretty far
like
back.
down your stomach?
No, this is connected back here. Yeah, right there. So, yeah. I'm guessing they go deep though. You think if the guy right here, they would just split the tongue, like, and just pull it out and he actually fork it out. Somehow they pull the whole thing out. So you can kind of tell that the two arrivals, the two new guys, not the general, but the other two guys, they're very uncomfortable. They're just like, man, this is not what we thought. But they don't. I mean, it's a gig. They got a job now, and so they go along with it. Right? Yeah, we're in. So his first job, he's just like, okay, you know, these are two spies. They work for these bandits. It's an unorganized group. We need you to go out there and, you know, destroy. You know, you can catch them off guard. You can just kill them big time, quickly. It's easy. It's an easy gig. Find the main guy, bring him back for questioning. What he does, though, he sends them out there, and they get effing slaughtered. Like, these dudes weren't messing around. And at first, like, it seems like it's going to be an easy gig because you see, like, these two nude ladies in the spring, and you're just like, well, clearly, if this is like, you know, no, dude, no. They walk into a trap, and, dude, they get effed up big time. The torture they submit this one dude to, the fiance, oh, dude, ruthless. It's ruthless. I'm not going to go into detail. Check it out. But it's messed up, and it's insane because when the other guy, the brother of the main girl, I don't know names, I'm sorry, I watched it, but I can't remember the names. Anyways, he kind of saves him. And of course, at this point, dude, it leaves the, well, I'll get to that point in a second. But anyways, they do break it out. Okay, now while they're captured and, you know, being tortured, the general is making advances on the sister-in-law. Doesn't really quite go after the main girl, and you find out, well, you know, he's been with the sister-in-law and I hope you guys are following me here. I'm being very vague. I realize this, but it's the situation I'm in right now. He's been, with her, and you find out that, she's cheating on him, or cheating on her husband with the general. But it gets really messed up, the stuff they do there. Like, it's just really, once again, it's really out there. This hits on lots of different, like I said, a lot of torture scenes, a lot of the, hard R's that are going on in this thing. It's insane. It really is. But underneath it all, like, it does sound like I'm just telling you this story as just exploitation. There is a story underneath. Like, it really is a really tragic, and I'm going to use the word tragic because it really is a messed up story. Because, like, when the guys come back, their lives are changed. Whereas, because now you assume that they're married, the main girl and her fiance. However, early on, like, you can tell he was really eager to consummate. But after the torture, now he's impotent and he can't quite, rise to the occasion. Whereas the other couple, her brother and sister-in-law, they were like rabbits. And now, after she's been, with the general, she has no desire to, be with her husband. And so it's really like this is ruining their lives. The husband finds out, the main girl's brother, I'm sorry this is getting weird and confusing, but, he finds out that, she's been having an affair. So now he wants to find out who it is. Dude, the general doesn't even confess to it. He's just like, oh, I know who it is, this guy over here. Sets him up again. They beat the crap out of this dude thinking that he's the adulterer. And the dude had he had asthma, and so they give him an ass kicking, but it kills him. And now they are sentenced, and they get tortured, and they are sentenced to exile. Then the general, once again, saves him from that. Like, he saves him from exile, and he's just like, he kills all the guards around him, right? And he's like, guys, here's some money, get to a safe place, I'll send the 2 girls after, with you guys. But then, when he sends them out, then more guards attack him, and they're like, you're going to be sentenced to death because you just killed these other guys. And of course, they don't rat out the general because they're all, brothers now. But the general just keeps effing everybody over. They F's over the sister-in-law. Dude, it is just a big game of just effing everybody over. I really dug this movie. Like, for all its messed up, crazy torture and stuff like that, it really is, at the heart of it, a damn good story of revenge. And it reminded me a lot. There's a movie from the 50s, I believe. It was called Harry Carey. And I won't go... Harry Carey. That's the suicide they do in Japan where they take the sword and... they kill themselves that way. It's messed up, I know. The movie itself, it reminded me a lot of that just because, in the end, the general who has ruined these 4 people's lives forever, like, he ruins their lives, that's all there is to it. In the end, his people still regard him as this great leader. Like, it ends with the woman still being tortured, and then, of course, the general, like, they don't really think, I guess they don't know. I mean, I don't assume, like, the government really knows. I don't think they're that corrupt. I guess it's more him. He was corrupt. And, of course, the fact that he's getting the job done, they don't ask questions how he's getting the job done. So it's almost like that story will never be told now because everybody, so he's going to go down as a hero when in real life the dude is wicked as hell. So a Chinese torture story, 2, from what I've been hearing, I mean, I guess, like, 1 was pretty crazy. But like I said, it kind of has more of a fantasy, and there's a lot of comedic parts to it. Whereas this one just straight up dark, and it's really ultimately kind of depressing. And this movie, it really stuck with me. Like, after I watched it, because I watched it back in Monday night, I think. This is Saturday night. And for the next 2 or 3 days, it was just constantly up here. Like, I just kept replaying it in my head over. Really, I mean, it really sticks with you. I highly recommend it. I really do. I think this is a great movie. Once again, not recommend for kids, so kids don't watch this movie. Everybody else, dig in, good stuff.
Wicked.
It's a little crazy. It's a little demented, but really good stuff. Moving right along, we're gonna go back to 1993. Fire in the Sky, in which
it's not really fire. Let's get that part clear.
Yeah, there's no actual fire in the sky. It's based on a true story. And I'm not going to quotate that. Normally with the ghost story, the one's like based on a true story. I actually believe in aliens. I'm not saying this is really true, but I'm just saying it. I believe this more than I would, like in a haunting in Connecticut or some shit. It's about these guys who are these loggers, and anyways, one of them gets abducted by aliens. And thing is though, this isn't really like, I remember when this came out. like, I honestly thought this was straight to video. Or, sorry, a TV movie. I thought this was a TV movie whenever I was younger. Because I watched it probably like in 95, 96, and it was on Fox. So I just assumed like that was the first place it came out to. Like, I didn't really realize it was already been out. Because it really, and even now when I look at it, like before, when I was a kid, I didn't really know what a TV movie was or straight to video. I didn't know any of that stuff. But I figured like it was just like Fox just did this and released it. So when I was a group, I was like, it's a made-for-TV movie. But when you watch it, it still looks like a made-for-TV movie. Like the production values are very, except for the end part, but like for most part, the rest of it's just like very, However, I think what I noticed from a lot of people I've been talking to about this movie is, I think most of them was expecting like a crazy action sci-fi thriller type thing. Like in the vein of Aliens or, something like that.
Speaking of aliens, is there aliens in that movie? Is it nice and mean?
Wait, look like to you.
Me.
He gets a little angry, doesn't he?
So
Yeah.
not like the E.T.
These ain't the E.T.
So
friendly.
So no E.T.
Phone home. Not like Paul. You didn't watch Paul. Girl.
Yeah, I did.
Did you watch Paul? I think you're full of it. Alright, I'm gonna turn back over here and finish my review.
Yeah.
Okay. This movie isn't necessarily about, it is about the aliens. This movie, though, is less about the abduction, I guess, and more about the results or consequences, I guess you can say, of what the other people went through after this went down. Because after, he was abducted, it was almost like, what did the other guys go through? Because they go back to town, they tell the truth, they tell exactly what happened. They're like, it looked like there was fire in the sky, that's what, that's why I call it that. And they say, their friend was knocked down by this beam, and then when they went back, he was gone. And, of course, no one believes him. They bring in James Garner, who plays, this big-time CIA or FBI or whatever, Marshal. And he comes in, and of course, he just, everybody assumes that they murdered their friend. And everybody turns their back. The whole town turns their back on these 5 dudes. And I think when I was a kid, I didn't quite get that. I was expecting it to be more about the aliens. So, at the time I was watching a lot of the X-Files, so I was expecting it to be almost X-Files-ish, more action. X-Files don't have a lot of action to it, but I thought it had more action like the X-Files. And it really doesn't. There's only one scene, really, or one segment that actually has the aliens and they, interact and everything. But the movie mostly is about how you guys are trying to adjust to life now that they have told the story of this alien abduction, and almost having to live with that. It stars Robert Patrick, which we all know and love from Terminator 2, and he's also in from Dusk Till Dawn 2, 2 movies I already mentioned tonight. And he's been in countless other stuff. We all know Robert Patrick. He does great in this. It also has Craig Schaefer from Nightbreed, and I believe Hellraiser 5 Inferno, or just Hellraiser Inferno. Anyways, and everybody, I'm not gonna lie, I don't recognize it except for James Garner, but it's I like it. It's not the greatest. Like I said, it does have really bad TV production values, except for the last part when it actually shows what happened during the abduction and the, I guess, probing. They don't really probe, but I guess the procedure the aliens do. That was pretty crazy. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. I thought one thing that did stand out to me on this one was the score. It was horrible. It had it just really goofy at parts, and then it was trying to build suspense when there was no suspense needed. Just a regular scene, and you're dun 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 dun. It was just really bad. The score was just ridiculously bad. I'm gonna pull the guy out. Mark Eisen. Yeah, you suck. At least you sucked on this one. The aliens look good though. You agree with that? That's a pretty decent looking alien, right? It's kind of freaky.
E.T. looks better.
You think E.T. looks better? Well, he looks friendlier though, doesn't he? Yeah. This guy don't look friendly at all. So he's doing his job right though, Rob. You're kind of scared.
He's a reddish, pinkish. Looks like he constipated.
Well, he looks kind of humanish. They have a humanoid quality to him. He does look a little constipated too, though. I will give you that.
Constipated like aliens.
The acting's solid. Not everybody does great, but I can't really go on about this like I did Chinese Torture Story. I'm sorry about that, but no, overall, I definitely check it out. Like I said, this is mostly the reason I reviewed this one because this is kind of a blast out my past. I came across it pretty cheap, and I was like, man, I remember watching this, and I was like, it's kind of in that realm. It's definitely more sci-fi. I won't bullshit you on that one, but I just have very fond memories. I was like, yeah, fuck it. I've done sci-fi before on the show, so I'll bring it in there. I actually didn't really have any too straight horror movies. The other one was more torture, drama, adventure, and this was sci-fi. But still, no, it's worth a check out. Like I said, I might gonna lie. And it just kind of ends abruptly. I guess it is kind of like true stories. There's no big climatic ending in life. sometimes shit just kind of ends. And so that's kind of what it is here. Like, it just kind of, like, I thought it'd be more to it. Like, for some reason, I thought there was just more to it. So after it kind of shows, like, what happened during the abduction, it just kind of, like, jumps, like, 2-3 years. And then there's kind of reconcile between the two main characters, and then credits. And you're like, wow, really? Like, no more? No more. But yeah, that's not bad. So I definitely recommend it. I definitely recommend Chinese Shorter Story too. But
okay, I have a question for Fire in the Sky for you.
Oh, ask me. Ask what?
If you had to guess, like if you ever got abducted, what would you think it would be like?
If I was abducted, what do I think it would be like? I would say probably a lot like what happened in this one. Actually, I guess if I had to guess, I would assume. I mean, this is the same thing we've seen like in X-Files. I remember when I was a kid, like like today, there's a ton of like ghost shows, like a haunting here or whatever. When I was a kid, there was a lot of alien shows. Like every show was like these people were abducted, and it's just like so. They all kind of coincide like with what happens in here. So I expect it to be a lot like this. It'd be freaky. There's a scene where the dude's down. They got like this thing around his eye. His eye's open, and like the drill comes down. Oh, I know. I don't think it hits him in the eye. I think it kind of goes to the side, but still, yeah. Oh, no, don't do that.
You can also get a tattoo in the eyeball.
I've seen people do that, yeah. Our cousin, I'll mention his name after we turn this off, he talked about how he watches like LA Ink or Miami Ink or something like that, and a dude had like a tattoo on the eyeball, and I'm like, F that. Don't mess with the eyes. Don't mess with my eyes, teeth, nose, or ear. Leave that shit alone. Like, leave the head alone. If I'm in a horror movie, just mess with the body. I don't really care about that. Leave my face and head alone. Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? Messed up. So, but yeah, good stuff. Check it out.
How would you get a tattoo on your teeth?
Probably be a little on your teeth. Because not really anything like, you chisel through it.
You can get carving.
You can carve your teeth. Yeah, you could. Oh, it's messed up, isn't it? Yeah. We're just taking a very sadistic turn on tonight's show. I was not expecting that, but yeah, you're right. It'd be pretty messed up. So yeah, a Chinese torture chamber story 2. Kind of a messed up title to say, but definitely big thumbs up. Check that out. Fire in the Sky. I recommend it. But just remember, not a lot of action in this one. This is definitely more drama, talky kind of thing. But it had its moments, and Kirk Schaefer, I kind of like his style. At some moments, he kind of had like this gay feel to him, and I'm not sure if the real guy that was in this movie was actually supposed to be gay or not. But it seemed like there's a certain scene where he just kind of does like this little lispy, and he just kind of does this little. I don't know. It just seemed like to me like subtext that he gave the character was this little homosexual. Well, that's fine. I'm down with that. 2013. It's we can all be open. But definitely check it out. So
I got a question for you guys.
Oh, she's gonna ask the people out here a question. Go ahead, Natalie. The floor is yours.
If you had to guess, what would abduction be like for you?
Okay, so you want to ask them like what they think an alien abduction. You're asking what they think an alien abduction would be like.
Yep.
All right. Well, there you guys go. A question from her.
My question, and I'm expecting a question back.
She wants the question back next week. So you guys do not disappoint Natalie, clearly I think the most polite, nicest corn child.
I'll be at your window when you go to sleep.
And she'll do it too, dude. She will freaking do it. You know, it's the corn children. They'll F you up 3 ways from Sunday. So, all right. You got anything else to add, then?
No.
Nope.
I better get a question next week, though.
You better get some responses. All right. Natalie Myers, Movie Phantom.
And we are out of here.
Boom. She said it. Later.